Hey, welcome to this 5 News update. Today we're talking about snow. I'm sure you've looked out the window. You know what's going on. Wondering what the road conditions are out there today. Lots going on. We're going to give you an update on all of it.
Yeah, I think, again, the RDOT crews hitting the main highways and interstates. A lot of towns, you were telling me this yesterday. I was like, who actually gets out there and does the local towns, the Bentonvilles, the Rogers, even the Johnsons, the smaller towns?
Yeah.
And you said it was up to those towns and cities to get out there, maybe hire some contractors off to the side and take care of those roads. I saw that. We've all seen that. We've seen that with the tower cams. We've heard about that across the area. Overnight, just plowing this slushy snow off the road. So we've had a lot of people across the entire area helping us out as we've gone through the overnight hours, clearing up some of those roads for us. Now, that being said, there's still plenty of sidewalks, side streets, neighborhoods, and parking lots this morning that didn't see much activity. Of course, they can't get everywhere during the overnight hours. And so there's going to be some slick conditions there. You're going to have a little bit more slush that's still on the roads. We're also watching, again, this morning, dense fog has developed across northwest Arkansas, especially in Benton County and then parts of Washington County. We're seeing that with visibility being reduced this morning. Here's a live look for you, Bentonville. This has actually improved some here just over the last 5, 10, 15 minutes. The fog came in quick, and then it's kind of relaxed a little bit. And you see this? You notice some of those little white dots going by? Some flurries out there. Again, we've seen some lingering light snow in northwest Arkansas. We're not anticipating a lot from this, but again, the main big storm system that we've been tracking, that shifted off to the northeast. That one's done. It's gone. We got our big snowfall from it. But what we're watching too, we still have this big dip in the jet stream. We call it a trough, moving across the central U.S. That provides enough lift. You don't need that much moisture in the atmosphere when you try to get snowfall or winter weather. So again, if we were trying to get a big rainstorm to come through, we would be dry. But there's enough moisture still in the atmosphere to squeeze out some snow flurries. And that's what we're going to be talking about. I think mainly north of I-40 today. Still some lingering snow out there while you're playing around in this snowfall. And it's a good snow to get out, to sled, packing snow. We've had the drier powdery snow earlier this year. You can't really do a whole lot with it, and it blows around. This is some good old wet packing snow. A lot of moisture with this snowfall. Again, the fog has picked up in parts of Springdale, so reducing the visibility on I-49. Again, RDOT did a great job, gave us really, I think, 2 good lanes. We had Chief Meteorologist Matt Sandridge and meteorologist Stephen Elmore outside earlier this morning, and they were saying, hey, sometimes instead of 3 lanes on I-49 like we're used to, we had 2 good ones. That slush is there on the sides. You keep your tires out of the slush, I think you're going to be good. What a large storm system. You want a good winter storm for parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma this time of year, January, February. You need a big storm system to lift northeast out of Texas. That's exactly what we had here. Big snow bands in there, heavy snow bands mixing in for everyone. Lesser amounts are far northwestern zones. We're collecting those snow totals for you. We're going to have an update for you here in just a couple more minutes, but it's going to take some time. But as we go through the day, we are going to collect those snow totals and give you a good picture and see exactly what we got. Some people got a little less. Some people still got some big numbers. There's some big totals that are still coming in from parts of the region. Here we go. Again, the lighter snow, the flurries doesn't get picked up by radar well. There is a band of some snow, light snow out near Tulsa, I-44. That's going to work this way. So again, we're going to have a chance for some sprinkles and then some snow flurries as we go through the day. Temperatures outside, they've been in our favor. They're near freezing, right around the freezing mark. But if they would have dipped more below freezing, we would really have to start watching for some icy conditions with all the water we have on the roads. Temperatures above freezing in the river valley. Again, this is good. We're going to have a lot of melt with that slush, especially as traffic picks up. We're going to have a lot of slush on the roads, a lot of just wet roads. This is going to be good, but that is going to come into play as we go Wednesday night into Thursday. Show you that in a second. Again, Future Track Radar's done a great job with this whole system. It's doing a great job today. We're going to be cloudy. You see some of those specks of white popping up. Best chance for some lingering light snow and some flurries. Going to be north of I-40 as we go through the day. I want to show you this too. Temperatures today with the cloud cover, the snowpack on the ground, that cools the air here at the surface for us. So it's going to try to hold temperatures mostly in the 30s today. We could have some spots make a run for 40 degrees. That would be likely the warmest. But as we go overnight, we're going to get some clearing, good radiational cooling. Temperatures are going to drop below freezing this time. RDOT's already told us that they're going to stick around and they're going to continue to treat the roads in preparation for refreezing that goes on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. You hit the roads Thursday morning, you're going to have a better chance to run into some ice than just the wet streets that you're finding across a lot of the area this morning. Temperatures upper teens, 20s northwest Arkansas. We're expecting 20s below freezing into the River Valley. Also, last thing I'll add here, as you factor in a northwest wind about 5 to 15 miles per hour, it's going to be a colder winter morning tomorrow. Wind chills because these winds, ladies, are going to be picking up around or allowing those feels-like temperatures to drop more into the teens, maybe some single digits in northwest Arkansas.
I mean, you know, it's those temperatures right there that really sort of is the problem with this, right? I mean, we haven't had it so bad just yet. A lot of kids out there playing, doing their thing, so it's fun for them. But, you know, those temperatures as we go along, that's going to be the worry. Thousands waking up to no power this morning.
I know. Not a great thing to wake up to, right? This winter storm, it's definitely caused some damage on neighborhoods across our area. So let's take a look at where this happened. So you can see right here some of those numbers. In Washington County, over 18,000 without power. Then in Crawford County, 1,700, Sebastian at 9,000, Madison 4,000, Logan County almost 3,000. I know at one point, Joe, around 100,000 people were without power in Arkansas.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like that number sort of dwindles down a little bit as we're moving along in the morning. And that's because, you know, these power companies, they've called in a lot of extra crews from regionally, called them in to come help out. They knew, you know, this would be a problem. They say a lot of it, you know, is the snow weighing down on those trees, sort of snapping them over, hitting the power poles, the power lines. So that's the problem. But we do know, we check with OG&E, a lot of customers, the River Valley, Fort Smith area, they have OG&E. And they were telling us by 10 o'clock this morning, they hope to have, you know, most of those restored, a good chunk of them. That's their goal. But as far as the other ones, we don't have any updates on what time that will be. But waking up without power this morning, you know, people are pulling out those generators. You guys are probably, you have those fireplaces. Some may be staying with friends at this time just to get through right now.
Well, for sure. And it makes it a little bit harder to want to go outside and play in the snow when you know you can't go in and warm up.
Right. You have to go to grandma's or something, you know, kind of keep warm until you can, you know, get out there. But in the roads, that's another big one this morning you're probably worrying about. 5 News reporter Jose Carranza joining us live right now. He's been checking on the interstates this morning.
Yeah, hey Joe. We're talking about those outages and those trees and power lines. Actually, around here, whenever we pulled into, we're just off I-49 at the Weddington exit. This area was actually experiencing an outage itself. Some of the stoplights off, and this tree overhead has been dropping a lot of snow on us. I'll tell you that. But anyways, going back to traffic, yes, traffic has certainly picked up. And earlier today, we spoke to Dave Parker with RDOT, who told us that so far, they have cleared many of the main state highways and roadways, but they are still working to get some of those patches. In fact, right before our live shot, we had some trucks coming through, clearing off the intermedian and just these exits. Some of those patches still there, and throughout the day, they're going to be working on those 412 as well. But yeah. They've said so far it's been very easy because this snow is wet snow. This slush has been very easy to come through and just plow and move out of the way. But it's also perfect for kids. He says definitely if parents want to head out and go sledding, maybe take out, you know, your sled and have some fun with the kids. But do be careful on the roadways. Again, there was concerns overnight for a refreeze again tonight. Like Zach Scott was saying, there's going to be concerns of that, and they're going to continue to monitor that throughout the night and into tomorrow morning. For now, live in Fayetteville, covering news where you live, Jose Carranza, 5 News.
All right. Thank you so much, Jose. I hope you're staying warm out there. You and your photographer, be careful out there. A lot of traffic moving behind him.
And that helps, too. That helps clear that slush out over time.
It does. It does. Yeah. And he was talking, you know, about the heavy snow. We've received quite a bit, but in different areas.
Different areas scattered around. And again, some of these official, some of these unofficial. We're getting lots of reports coming in with the National Weather Service, so we're going to continue to work with them on getting these totals and refining them here over the next several hours. And we'll try to get you a better picture by later tonight, and then as we even go into tomorrow. But we've had some reports of 7+ inches, 7 to 10 inches in parts of Madison, Carroll counties. We've had reports of 6 to 8 inches, parts of Fayetteville, north of Lincoln, in Washington County. Benton County has had, I've been looking back and forth across a lot of the areas from Rogers to Bentonville and other areas. It looks like most of the area was in the 3 to 5. You get up towards Bella Vista, back towards Gravette, you drop a little bit there. But overall, you go into Oklahoma, even Adair County there on the border, coming in with around 5 inches. Down into the River Valley, again, we've got a few totals that have come in there in LaFleur County. Spirals, 6 inches. Fort Smith around the 4-inch range. Waldron, 4 inches. I know some areas south of Waldron probably got a little bit more than that. I'm waiting for some more reports to come in from the National Weather Service in Little Rock with Scott County, because we know they had some likely 4 to 6+ inch totals down there. Dyer, that's just north of the Arkansas River there, north of I-40 in Crawford County, coming in with 3 inches. So a good 3 to 6 for the majority of the region, with some locally less and locally higher amounts. I think up near Harrison too, just a little bit outside of our area. 10. There have been some reports of maybe a few places getting close to a foot in north central Arkansas.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Well, I think the best part about this is a lot of times not everyone in our area gets to have fun in the snow. And this time everyone got a little bit to have those snowball fights, build a snowman, things like that.
Yeah, we didn't have to say just this region over this region. And another big thing, we didn't have to talk about northwest Arkansas getting snow, the River Valley getting an ice storm. That was also good. It was just all snow for everybody. It had its problems, don't get me wrong, certainly slippery out there when it was coming down. But it was a snow for everybody. We didn't have to single or, not include some regions. It was a good snow. I think a lot of people are having fun today.
Yeah, well, now that that's the business, we want to have a little bit of fun, right? We want to see some of those pictures that, you guys are taking out there, because you're going to get out and do something fun. Maybe build a snowman, you're going to go sledding. We want to see those. Make sure you text them to the number that you see right here on your screen, 479-785-5000. We're going to show those on air today. Also, let us know how much snow you got in your area. Zach wants to know that as well.
Yeah, that certainly helps when we're putting the picture together.
For sure. And we're taking a look right now along I-540 in Fort Smith at the Rogers Avenue exit.
Yeah, you can see a lot of snow on the signs there, but the roads, traffic moving through pretty well right over Rogers Avenue, that interstate bridge there this morning. Meteorologist Stephen Abshire is in Fort Smith. He's been keeping track of what's going on down there.
Now, Stephen.
Yeah, Joe, and it hasn't been too bad traffic-wise for this morning. Yesterday evening, we had a lot of issues. I mean, at one point, we had to say that the Fort Smith Police Department weren't able to do any of those minor accidents where there wasn't anybody injured, because it was so busy in terms of reporting those accidents, because it had been so slick so quickly. Because that rain, the snow transition here in Fort Smith happened very rapidly. We had a heavy band of rain move in, and then all of a sudden it just switched over to snow, and that's really when we gained a lot of the snow that's on the ground right now. We got about an inch an hour for a couple of hours there at that point, and that's the main difference why we're seeing some areas of the River Valley that have maybe closer to 4 or even 5 inches, like we've heard for parts of the River Valley. And then some areas, like I was in Alma earlier this morning, maybe only half an inch that's melted by this point, and only a little bit's left on the ground. But we've heard reports out of Mountainburg that's closer to 6 inches, Paris closer to 5. I know areas south of us, closer to Waldron and even into Mena, where they had some of that first round of snow before anybody else in 5 country received any, also reported upwards of 4 to 5 inches. So it'll be great to hear later on today what the overall estimate is, but it's really hard to measure the snow out now because we're seeing so much of it is melted and so much of it is really compacting down. So what might have been 6 inches last night is closer to 3 now. And really, as you drive around Fort Smith and you drive around other areas of the River Valley, a lot of the roads are looking just completely clear, almost like it just rained outside, because it has been melted for the last 5 to 6 hours at this point, as we've been above freezing since early this morning. And the more cars that drive on it, the more crews that work on it, the more those roads just continue to dry out. But for right now, the main concerns are probably just going to be some parking lots, some of those back roads, some of those side roads in parts of the River Valley that haven't seen a lot of car traffic so far this morning. Those are probably the main concerns. But hey, if you want to head outside and have some fun, I would definitely try to do it today, because as we move into tomorrow, we could see a lot of the snow, at least for the River Valley, begin to melt away. So if you want to build a snowman, just go out there and do it today. I have been making probably too many snowballs for my age, but hey, you're never too old to have a little bit of a snowball fight. Zach, if you're there when I get back later on today, you better watch yourself because I'm going to be coming packing with as many snowballs as I can.
No, Stephen, he is here. We'll make sure you have access to him. So for the folks, though, out there, can we get Stephen back real quick? For the folks out there, we haven't been out there to be able to gather the snow up yet. I mean, we're wondering, is it pretty easy? It's packable snow, right?
I think earlier he was saying that it was the best kind of snow that you could have for making a snowman, for those snowballs. He even made one on air earlier, and so I think he's just getting them ready for Zach.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, in talking, you guys out there on Facebook, thank you for commenting. Pamela in Pensacola saying that there they saw 4 to 5 inches in parts of Pensacola. So, I mean, this is some good snow. 1 inch in Roland from Sandy. So, it's quite a difference depending on where you're at.
For sure. I think they were saying even in Lavaca, it was about 4 inches as well. And so definitely a lot of good snow out there. Everyone got a little dusting for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely the talk of the day, right? All of the snow and what the road conditions are like out there.
So let's just go ahead and take you across 5 country through some RDOT cameras this morning. Now, this is just right here, the Arkansas Bridge 540. You can look at it. It kind of looks like a winter wonderland a little bit, but the road's not looking too bad. You can see people probably driving a little slower than normal, though.
Yeah, for those of you who traveled yesterday, it's quite a difference, right? I mean, it looks completely different. Let's go ahead and go a little bit north on I-49, the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. We'll see what that looks like there. It looks like maybe there's a little bit on the camera there, so you can't see too well. There's another shot right there. So this is just north of the tunnel. If you have to travel in this area, this is a live look of what you're going to face.
That sure is a beautiful shot, though. I mean, you can't help but just look at that and feel like you're in a snow globe. And then I think this right here is near Rogers on I-49 near Walton Boulevard. And you can see there are some people out on the road, but definitely looks like they're taking their time out there and probably a few slick spots as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen, quite a bit of traffic, more than I thought we would see today out there. But it seems like, because of the rain, because of the wetness, the roads sort of cleared off a bit. Of course, that may not be the case a little bit later. We're just hearing that Karen here on Facebook, 11 inches?
That's a lot of
across
snow.
the Boston Mountains. So that is quite a lot to have.
It is for sure. And another thing to remember is help is available for those without a home in the Fayetteville area. This morning, multiple organizations are teaming up to give people shelter overnight and during the day. The Salvation Army Emergency Shelter was open overnight, and Genesis Church is open as an overflow shelter. Those shelters closed at 6 a.m. but will reopen again tonight. And when they close this morning, those staying are taken to Seven Hills Homeless Shelter to provide a warm place to stay during the day.
Now, if you live in Fayetteville, this one's for you. Before you put your boots and haul that trash to the road. The trash is a bit suspended today for the city. They say pickup will resume, though, when these road conditions improve just a bit. But if you've already placed those bins out there, those carts at the curb, you can just leave them there until these conditions improve to safely retrieve them, of course. All right, this is a look at 5newsonline.com right now. A lot of kids, parents watching from home right now because no school for a lot of us, right? Some alternative learning sites. If you're wondering what's happening in the schools around you, just go to 5newsonline.com. We have all the school listings there. We'll follow those throughout the day and into tomorrow to see if there are any closures or any issues there. So make sure you check that out. That's a lot of information for you right there.
Definitely. And then, I mean, too, it's just good to see that it's not just saying, hey, closed, delayed. It's saying it's closed, but this is an AMI day, or you're going to be doing virtual school today. So if you're one of those schools, definitely check in with your teachers to see what those assignments are for today.
Definitely. And a lot of kids, they're glad they're not in school, regardless if they have the, virtual learning. You guys are still out there building some snowmen, for sure. So,
but they're not the only ones, because some adults are getting to do it too. The LaFleur and Sequoia counties non-essential state workers, they don't have to go to work today because of that snow.
Yeah, those current weather conditions, the governor actually authorized the commissioner of public safety to temporarily reduce non-essential services until 10 a.m. So if you're in Sequoia County, LaFleur County, this is for you. Make sure you call ahead first just to see, what's happening before you head out the door.
And an important reminder, if you do decide to shovel the snow off your driveway today, definitely be careful, because the American Heart Association is warning because of that cold snow, shoveling can increase the risk of a heart attack. They say to take breaks if you do have to shovel, and don't eat a big meal before or right after, and don't drink alcohol before or after shoveling.
Absolutely. That's good advice, Zach. Listen up.
I'm not going to be
You
doing
think
any
he's
shoveling.
going to shovel the snow?
I doubt it.
I'm
I
going to
doubt
let
it.
Mother Nature do her job and take care of it for me
Yeah.
over the next couple of days, that's for sure.
Yeah, and like we said, make sure you send those pictures to us today because we want to see what all of you guys out there are doing.
sure.
We're going to share them with everybody, and Zach likes to look at those pictures. So
I do like the pictures. I've put out an all call too on social media. I know
Uh-huh.
the entire weather team has, so we're trying to get as many as we can.
Well, and they can't help but make you smile when you see those babies and those pets in the snow. I mean,
And
you
some
like the
places-
babies the
I
most.
love the babies. I do love the babies.
Yeah.
I like the scenic shots.
Yeah,
Look at
they are
fantasy.
beautiful.
There's some really good spots out there. I just got a new report in from the National Weather Service official report around just south of Huntsville, 8.3 inches. So there's some
Wow.
big winners out there.
Wow.
I think everybody's a winner with what we're seeing. Even if you got 2-3 inches of wet snow right now, it still looks beautiful. But some people, the snow will stick around a little bit longer with that kind of depth.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, as of right now, it looks like, we're in not good condition, but decent condition with the roadways,
Yeah.
better than, I guess, what we expected. But it's as we go through the day into the night, I guess we got to worry
Yeah.
again, right?
It'll
Definitely in
be
the
after
morning.
sunset as temperatures start to drop overnight. That's when there'll be a little bit bigger concern of moisture just kind of refreezing that water out there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us here. Don't forget to follow us throughout the day at 5newsonline.com for the latest, even more live reports today on your 5 News at 5, 6, and 10.